I outgrew the life I prayed for. For as long as Rye could remember, he had one single shimmering wish. He wanted to be the town's master baker, the one who filled the morning air with the scent of cinnamon and honey. As a boy, he spent hours sketching his dream shop, the golden crust, in the dirt with a stick. He prayed every night for the day his hands would be covered in flour and his shelves would be heavy with bread. Years of hard work followed. Rye learned the secret language of yeast and the steady rhythm of the oven. Finally, the day arrived. He turned the key in a real wooden door, and the bell chimed a bright, welcoming note. He had done it. He was standing in the very life he had spent a decade dreaming about. The bakery was everything he thought it would be. Every morning, Mrs. Gable would come in for her rye loaf and tell him stories of the old days. He was the heart of the village, and his prayers felt answered in every thank you and every smile. He was exactly where he had always wanted to be. But slowly the shimmer began to fade. The smell of cinnamon, once magical, started to feel heavy. The routine that used to bring him comfort began to feel like a cage. One afternoon, while the timers buzzed and the dough rose, Rye found himself staring out the window at the blue peaks of the distant mountains, feeling a strange, quiet ache in his chest. He started spending his afternoons off wandering the forest trails, carrying a small tin of watercolors instead of a rolling pin. He realized he didn't want to bake the sunrise anymore. He wanted to paint it. He loved the bakery, but his heart had started singing a different song, one that didn't rhyme with flour and sugar. A heavy cloud of guilt followed him back to the shop. How could he be unhappy? This was the life he had begged for. He felt like he was betraying his younger self, the boy under the willow tree. He sat at his kitchen table late into the night, surrounded by his success, yet feeling like a stranger in his own home. The next morning, Silas, the village gardener, stopped by. Silas was old and wise, with hands that knew the secrets of growth. Rye confessed his feelings, his voice trembling. "I have everything I ever wanted, Silas. Why does it feel like I'm wearing a coat that's 2 sizes too small?" Silas looked at the cramped plant in his hands. "Plants don't stay the same size, Rye," he said gently. "Neither do people. If a flower stays in a small pot forever, it stops blooming. It's not ungrateful to need more room. It's just the way life works. You haven't failed your dream. You've simply finished it." Rye realized Silas was right. He found a young woman named Pip who had the same fire in her eyes that he once had. She dreamed of flour and honey, and when he handed her the keys, her joy lit up the whole street. Letting go didn't feel like losing. It felt like exhaling a breath he had been holding for years. Now Rye wakes up when the sun hits the mountain peaks, not when the oven timer rings. His hands are stained with blue and violet paint instead of white flour. He still remembers the boy under the willow tree with love, but he knows that the best way to honor an old dream is to find the courage to start a new one.